What's going on, guys? Doing a engine swap on a 2012 Colorado here. We got the engine out. You can see the cradles there right here where the motor mounts go, and there's your torque converter and stuff. Pretty tough getting to them torque converter bolts, I'll tell you that. So anyway, we're doing the engine swap. Here's the old engine right here. I'm playing with my chain this morning. I'm trying to figure out, I got it straight. I made this little loop right here. You guys can see this little loop I just made. I pulled it out with just this chain right here. But it makes the engine sideways and you got to force it to stay straight. So I made this little loop. So now the engine is straight, but it's not level. When I pick it up, it wants to, well, it's up now, but you see how the engine's laid over? I got to figure out another place to bolt my chain on the block on the back to straighten that engine up. I don't really like that pull point they got on there. It's too far out and it makes it wonky. I want it level and straight when I put it back in there. Couple of things, if any of you guys are going to do this, remove your transmission dipstick tube right off the bat before you try to pull the engine out. You got to get these. I'll show you these engine mounts. They're a pain in the rear end. I mean, they're pretty cool, but right here, see how they stick out right there? That makes it a problem getting it up out of there because you got to pull, you got to clear these cradles right here. Right here, you have to clear these before the engine will come forward. Then you got that shaft sticking out of the torque converter, which makes it a little more difficult to get it out. So when I put it back in, I'm going to take those motor mounts off. That way I can just position my engine and slide it straight on the torque converter, put some bolts in it, and y'all can see how I got the transmission jacked up. I don't know if y'all can see that little jack under there, and I got a board going all the way across the pan so it don't hurt the pan. But I jacked that transmission up as far as it'll go up against the floorboard there. It helps with putting the engine, taking it out and putting it in, because that transmission's up higher, and then when you pull it out, you can just, you know, it just helps. And when you put it back in, it helps too, because I can just slide that engine right back in here like this, and I can get a few of the bell housing bolts in. Then I'm going to put the motor mounts back on, then I'm going to drop it down in the cradles. It's not a bad little job. There's a lot of wires and stuff you got to take off, and y'all can see right here I left the air conditioning hooked up. I just moved the compressor forward and I moved the power steering pump forward. You can see my tie wire right there. Tie wire is your best friend when you're doing something like this. You need a roll of tie wire, and don't be afraid to use it. I got zip strips holding the condenser. See right here? I got zip strips holding the air conditioning condenser in place because I'm going to put a new radiator in it. And the radiator, this condenser mounts down into the radiator. It's got these little spots. Here's the radiator right here. Here's a spot, and here it is on the back, right here. These little things. That air conditioning condenser sits down in those. So it's a bear getting it out of there. You got to be careful with it. But I got everything off of this engine basically that we're going to take off of it. I'm going to take all the sensors off of it and put them in a box because I ran a scan on the computer and didn't have any codes. It ran it without oil and water, and it sounded like it was about ready to throw a rod getting it in here. He asked me about rebuilding it, and I told him, I was like, man, that thing is so damaged. You know, find you a good used engine or buy you a long block. You know, it probably can be repaired, but the machine work is probably going to be on another level. Right here's a used engine, 75,000 miles on it. I'm going to go with what's here. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and I'm going to take the coils off of that engine and put on this engine, but I'm going to save these. They damaged this one right here. This sensor right here was damaged, so I replaced it, but it's only got 75,000 miles on it, and so I think it's going to be okay. got some of the parts moved over to it that I need. I got this piece here, and then these, I'm going to take these back off. On the old engine, they only had one bolt. They had this bolt over here. This bolt over here is broke off in the old engine, and there were no bolts on the bottom. I'm going to put all 4 bolts back in it, but when I took it apart, it only had one bolt holding it. And so, you know, you never know what you're going to run into when you work behind other people, you know, because that old engine is not the engine that came in this truck. This is this truck's 3rd engine. So I don't know if the 2.9s are, you know, just got inherent problems or what, but it's a shame, man. It's a shame. You know, when you drive an older vehicle, you need to check your oil every few days, man. You know what I mean? Keep an eye on your gauges. You know, your gauges, put a mechanical oil pressure gauge in your vehicle, man. I'm telling you, them idiot lights will get you in trouble. By the time they come on, it's normally too late. But if you drive an older vehicle, check your oil. Just check your oil once in a while. It might save you $5,000. You know, quart of oil is $3 or $4 or $5, and you know, it's just not worth it. So anyway, we're going to set this one over to the side. The owner's bringing parts today for that one over there. I thought about go ahead and setting it in there and get it bolt to the bell housing. I got to put thermostat in it. We're putting a new radiator. We're putting a new tensioner, new idler pulley, new serpentine belt. I think the fan's okay. We're going to put a new water pump on it. Just while we got it out, and like I said, I'm going to take all these sensors out of this engine, and I'm going to put them in a box in case when I start it we have something wrong, you know. That way I know these sensors are good. I don't know about the sensors on the other engine. But this is what we're doing, man. You know, it's not too bad. I think the biggest thing is these motor mounts, and I was able to get the engine out, but I'm not going to put it back in that way. I'm going to just put the engine in without the motor mounts on it. That way I don't have to fight it and, you know, raise all kind of hell to get it in there. I can just set it right down in there, bolt it to the bell housing, and then I can bolt my motor mounts to the side of the block and just set it down in there. That's the plan. We'll see, you know. Plans don't always work out, but you know how it is. So anyway, that's what we're doing, man. Looking to turn about a 7-second quarter mile when I get done. We'll see. I'm going to throw a 1500 shot nitrous on this bad boy. Nah, it's just a little work truck. So anyway, all right, y'all have a good one. I'll be posting some more later.